The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. It's new, it's unique, it's Gildy's own invention. It's Gildy's Blade, the amazing new double-edged knife spatula you first heard about on this program last week. It's a full $2 value that Parquet Margarine offers you at a sensational bargain. Hear all about it. Have pencil and paper ready for our next announcement. Meanwhile, remember, Parquet Margarine is the margarine millions prefer because it tastes so good. And it tastes so good because it's always fresh. That's Parkay, Parquet Margarine made by Kraft. Well, it's Saturday night, and the great Gildersleeve has been double dating with his niece Marjorie and her betrothed Bronco Thompson. The water commissioner is happiest when he's with his nearest and dearest. And he's in the back, nearest his dearest.
It's been a nice evening, Catherine.
Yes. I hate to see it end.
Look up in front. Marjorie and Bronco have forgotten we're here. When I was a boy, I never sat that close to a girl in a car.
You didn't?
No, the gear shift was always in the way.
I envy Marjorie and Bronco. They're so in love, with a honeymoon just around the corner.
Yeah, and a new Hudson to turn the corner in.
Honeymoon. Da-dee-dee-dee. Ask them to get some music on the radio, Throckmorton.
Good idea. Bronco. Oh, Bronco.
They're a million miles away.
They are? Bronco.
Oh, did you call me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, my goodness.
What do you want, Unky?
How about turning on the radio? We'll all sing.
I'll turn on the radio, but I can't sing, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes, he can, Unky. Bronco has a nice voice.
Oh, Marge.
Oh, there's no tomorrow. I love that.
Yeah, me too. Now is forever when love is true. Finish it, Bronco.
Well, so kiss me and hold me tight. There's no tomorrow. There's just tonight.
Yeah, he finished it.
God, wasn't that terrible?
Maybe I'd better take it, Bronco. Never send a boy to do a man's work. There's no tomorrow when love is new. Now is forever when love is true.
Oh, beautiful.
So kiss me and hold me tight. There's no tomorrow. There's just tonight.
Lovely, Unky.
You ought to be in a nightclub.
Nightclub?
Sure, like Tony Martin.
No, Bronco.
Here's your house, Miss Milford. Shall I let you out first?
Please, Bronco. It's been nice having you with us, Miss Milford.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, Marjorie. I had a wonderful evening, Bronco.
Good night, Miss Milford.
Good night.
I'll be back in a minute, children. So kiss me and hold me tight. Catherine.
Yes?
So kiss me and hold me tight.
Oh, Throckmorton. Not here at the door. They'd see us.
Well, he wouldn't see us if we got on the other side of the door.
Besides, I can't invite you in. Mother has a beau.
Oh, that's... A beau? Your mother?
Mm-hmm. A Mr. Oberdorf from Idaho.
Oh?
She met him at a square dance. They're too cute for words.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, You mind if I shake your hand?
Not at all.
What a way to say goodnight. Well, here we are. Hi, George. Nice to have been out with you and Marjorie tonight, Bronco.
We were glad to have you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, still a little chilly out.
I didn't notice it.
No, I guess you didn't.
You didn't notice anything but me, did you, Bronco baby?
What a baby. 6'2" and eyes of blue.
Unky, take Bronco into the parlor while I go make some hot chocolate. I'll be right with you.
That tastes good. Come along, baby. Bronco.
Oh, Marjorie's a great little girl, Mr. Gildersleeve. A great little girl.
Well, she thinks you're pretty nice, too, Bronco. I'm glad to see you two so much in love.
Yes, sir. Love is great. Really great. I can hardly wait until May 10th.
Yeah. You know, Bronco, I'm very proud of you and Marjorie. You're the happiest two people I know.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're not happy, are you?
What?
Have you ever thought about getting married and being happy?
Me?
Think what a different man you'd be if you were married to a woman.
Woman?
Yeah, Miss Milford, for example.
Now, wait a minute, Bronco.
Mr. Gildersleeve, marriage is a wonderful institution.
How do you know? You haven't been committed yet.
No, sir, but I'm sold on the idea.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's more to life than just living.
A very profound statement.
Living alone, I mean. Mr. Gildersleeve, it was not intended for man to live alone. Man is not a solitary creature.
Oh?
Sit down, Mr. Gildersleeve. I want to talk to you.
Yes.
There are some things I think you ought to know about life.
Now, Bronco, if this has anything to do with the birds and bees, I know all about them.
I'll be ready in a few minutes. Have you two found anything interesting to talk about?
No.
I've been trying to talk your uncle into getting married.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea, Unky.
Marjorie.
You've been single too long.
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's later than you think.
You said it. 12:30, and I'm going to bed. Good night. Why is it when two people are about to get married, they always try to hook somebody else? No, I don't think I'll get to sleep for quite a while.
Oh, may I come in?
Yes, my dear. Come in. I'm just reading.
Oh, what you reading, Unky?
Live alone and like it.
Bronco and I didn't mean to chase you out of the living room.
That's all right.
But really, Uncle Mort, I've worried a lot about how you'll get along when I leave.
Well, that's nice of you, Marjorie, but...
I'd feel a lot better if you had a good wife to take care of you.
Marjorie, let's not get carried away. You don't decide to take a wife the way you go down and buy a cigar. Besides, there are other people around here to consider. Little Leroy would never accept another woman in this house. And Bertie wouldn't like anybody puttering around her kitchen.
Uncle Mort, you're just making excuses.
All right, but...
Unky, look me in the eye.
Huh?
Now, tell me honestly, wouldn't you like to have a pretty girl like Miss Milford welcome you home from the office and get your slippers and kiss your cares away?
Wouldn't be bad. Good morning, Bertie.
Morning, Miss Gildersleeve. How are you this morning?
I didn't sleep very well. Somebody put a bug in my ear.
Come again?
It kept buzzing all night.
What you say?
Never mind, Bertie.
Yes, sir. I'll get you breakfast, Miss Gildersleeve.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy, quiet. You'll wake up Marjorie.
Isn't she up yet?
No, and she needs her beauty sleep, my boy.
Oh, for corn's sake. She's lovely. She's engaged. She needs her beauty sleep.
No, Leroy.
Why does she need beauty sleep? She's already got 'em hooked.
Leroy, let's be a bit considerate. We won't have Marjorie very much longer, you know.
Yeah. Gosh, it's going to seem funny around here without Marge.
Yeah, we're going to miss her, my boy. It'll be just you and me and Bertie.
Hey, Unc, why don't you get a roomer?
A roomer? Well, Marjorie and I were talking about that last night, after a fashion.
That'd be keen.
Leroy, You wouldn't want Miss Milford, the roomer, living here, would you?
Why not? What's this about Miss Milford?
Well, my boy, you wouldn't want her to come to live with us, would you?
Oh, boy, would I? She's a nurse. She could sign all my sick slips and get me out of school.
This sounds much too good. There must be something wrong with this arrangement. Yeah, I thought I might as well finish up the eggs and the pancakes and the bacon.
Yes, sir.
Fine breakfast, Bertie.
Thank you, sir. Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie?
What's this rumor I hear about a rumor?
Well, really nothing to it, Bertie. Marjorie just seemed to think after she leaves, we should invite somebody to join our little family.
Yes, sir. Leroy said that somebody lobbied Miss Milford.
He did, eh?
That's the strangest way I ever heard of to get a rumor. Marry him.
Bertie, I haven't said anything about getting married. You wouldn't want somebody else puttering around your kitchen?
Who said I wouldn't?
But,
Bertie's pretty big, but there's room in the kitchen for a nice girl like Miss Milford. I'd put the welcome mat right at the kitchen door.
Well, Bertie...
Yes, sir, Bertie likes that kind of helping. She'd put the welcome mat right at the kitchen door.
All right, Bertie.
Miss Gildersleeve, you know what Bertie'd do if you married Miss Milford?
Yes, Bertie.
That's right, Bertie'd put the welcome mat right at the kitchen door.
I think I'll take to my couch. I don't know why, but I've got the feeling people are trying to push me into something. Feels good. Cobwebs on the ceiling. All this talk about marital bliss. Those vine-covered cottages have a lot of thorns, too. Didn't get nearly enough sleep last night. Ate too much breakfast, too. Wonder if Catherine would get my slippers. Dinner ready. Catherine, I'm home.
Throckmorton, baby. Go right into the living room and take off your shoes.
What?
I have your slippers ready.
You have?
Oh, you must be awfully tired. Sit down, baby. Now sit here on the arm of your chair and run my fingers through your hair.
Feels good.
You don't mind waiting a while for dinner, do you?
Nah, just had a lot of bacon and eggs. This is the life.
Did my water commissioner have a busy day at the office?
Yeah, turning it on and cutting it off all day.
Oh, my poor boy. You have a big worry wrinkle across your forehead. Let Catherine kiss your cares away.
Glad I came home early. Catherine?
Yes, baby?
There's another wrinkle under my nose.
Well, I'll kiss that away, too.
Miss Gildersleeve! Miss Gildersleeve!
What's that? What's your fault?
Mr. Gildersleeve!
Bertie, what happened?
You fell off the couch.
I did?
You was dreaming.
Yeah, I guess I was.
Do you believe in dreams, Miss Gildersleeve?
Well, not ordinarily, Bertie, but by George, I believe in that one.
Back to the great Gildersleeve and his plans in just a minute. Now, here's the news about Gildy's Blade, Parquet Margarine's record-smashing bargain offer. You've never had a chance to buy a kitchen implement like this before. It's new, really new, invented by the great Gildersleeve himself. It's more than a knife, more than a spatula. It's 2 fine kitchen knives and a spatula all in one. That's right. Basically, this knife spatula of Gildy's is a big, flat, flexible blade of mirror-finished stainless spring steel, 1 1/4 inch wide, 7 inches long. It's set in a polished imported rosewood handle, almost 5 inches long. Overall length is just under a foot, about the length of your favorite bread knife. Now, one edge of Gildy's blade is a lifetime serrated edge that never needs sharpening. That makes this knife spatula a superb knife for slicing bread, cake, fruits, vegetables, anything you want to slice without crushing. And the other edge of the blade is hand-honed, razor-keen, straight-edged. A big all-purpose knife for any kind of cutting and slicing. Yes, 2 edges for the same blade. 2 fine kitchen knives in one. And then, in addition, the wide, flat, springy blade is spatula-shaped. Turns pancakes, fried eggs, fried potatoes, scrapes, mixes. And that makes 3 implements in one. 2 fine kitchen knives and a spatula, all in one handle. Of course, you'll want one. If you could buy one in the store, it would have to cost at least $2. But you can have this wonderful knife spatula called Gildy's Blade, manufactured especially for Gildersleeve by K-Land, famous makers of fine cutlery. You can have it for only 50 cents, plus the red end flap of a package of Parquet margarine and the label or wrapper from any loaf of bread your grocer sells. In some states, you may have to use the side panel of the Parquet carton that shows the 4 yellow quarters. Now remember, just send your $50, the red end flap or side panel from a Parquet package, and your bread label or wrapper to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. That's the full address. Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. Be sure to include your own name and address for return mailing. And get your order in promptly. This offer is for a limited time only. Let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. On Sunday, he decided that if marriage is good enough for Marjorie and Bronco, it's good enough for him. He's of the same opinion on Monday morning.
Well, children, I guess I'll be off to the office.
Don't you want the morning mail, Unky?
Oh, yes. Where is it?
I put it in your hat.
Oh, glad you told me. I might have worn the mail to work. Leroy. Let's see what we have here. Well, our Easter seals to help the crippled children.
Oh, let's see what they're like this year.
I've seen them. There's a picture of a little kid getting well and throwing his crutches away.
Well, that's what happens when everybody buys Easter seals, Leroy. That's where the money comes from to help handicapped children. Think I'll get some more to put on all my water bills.
Oh, gee, that's a wonderful idea, Unky.
Yeah, here's another letter from Mr. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Wonder how it'd be to get letters addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve.
What's this, Uncle Mort?
Huh? Oh, my dear, you gave me a lot to think about the other night.
Oh, Unky, your getting married is just an idle dream.
Nothing very idle about the one I had.
What's this about getting married, Unc?
Yeah?
I thought we were just getting a rumor.
Well, my boy, there's nothing like killing 2 birds.
Yeah, but getting married, that makes you the pigeon.
Leroy. I'll see you tonight around 8, Catherine. Just thought I'd give you a buzz from the office while Bessie is out for a malt. Been thinking about you quite a bit over the weekend. Mm-hmm. I got something important to talk to you about. Now, I'll tell you tonight. And make it 7:30, huh? Goodbye. Ta-ta.
The water commissioner in.
Oh, hello, Judge.
Who'd you have on the phone, Gildy?
Oh, I was just talking to one of our better customers, Judge.
Uh-huh. That's the way you talk to all your customers? Goodbye. Ta-ta.
Nosy old goat. Judge, someday you're going to get your chin whiskers caught in a keyhole.
Now, Gildy. How are Leroy and Margaret?
Fine.
And how are the plans for the wedding?
Well, I haven't proposed yet. I mean, you mean Marjorie's wedding.
What's this, my friend?
Nothing, Judge.
Is the custodian of the reservoir going to jump off the deep end?
Deep end? Judge, there's nothing wrong with getting married.
Why, of course not. I think you and Miss Milford would make a handsome couple. My blessings on you both.
Now, wait a minute. Let's not play the wedding march yet. I haven't made up my mind.
What does your mind have to do with it, Gildy?
What?
What's the woman who decides to get married? Then all she has to do is make the man think that it's his idea.
Oh, is that so?
I don't blame her for wanting to exchange her nurse's cap for a big fat meal ticket.
Watch it, Hooker. And don't speak so disparagingly of marriage.
Well, I don't mean it that way, Gildy. In fact, I'd like to perform your ceremony free of charge.
You would?
Yes, sir. You'll need the money more than I will.
Nice evening. I think I'll stop at Peavy's and pick up a box of candy. I'm not going to let what the judge said influence me a bit. He's just sour because he doesn't have a wife to support. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this evening?
I'd like a little candy, Peavy.
Very well. We just opened a carton of assorted gumdrops.
Gumdrops? This is for a lady, Peavy.
Well, Mrs. Peavy is a lady, and she eats gumdrops all the time.
Delighted to hear it, Peavy.
The gummier, the better.
Yeah. Peavy, let's drop the gumdrops. Want a nice box of chocolates.
Oh, courting candy.
Well, that's the idea.
By the way, how is Miss Milford?
Fine, Peavy. In fact, I think she's very fine.
Well, that's fine.
Peavy, you're an old friend of mine. What would you say if I told you I'm thinking of getting married?
I wouldn't know what to say.
Marriage is in the air, Peavy.
I hadn't noticed.
Marjorie and Bronco are getting married in May. I thought Catherine and I might make it a double wedding.
My.
What do you think of my idea?
Was it yours?
Why, certainly.
Well, I never give advice about marriage, but my father used to say, when a man thinks of getting married, he should stop, look, and listen.
Peavy, getting married isn't like crossing a railroad track.
I don't know. If more men had stopped and looked, they wouldn't be listening so much together.
Oh, my goodness. Peavy, you talk like Judge Hooker.
Oh? What did the judge have to say on the subject?
Well, he seemed to think I was falling into a trap. Well, I don't feel that way. You didn't feel that way, did you, Peavy?
No, I didn't suspect a thing.
What?
I went into the parlor one night with a box of candy. I noticed the lamp was low and smelled some incense burning.
Go on, Peavy.
That's all I remember.
Well, Peavy, I don't have to worry. There's nobody out to trap me.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, Hooker and Peavy are all wrong about this. That sweet little Catherine wouldn't set a trap for me. She's a registered nurse. That would be unethical. Katie, beautiful Katie. That's pretty. Wonder why she doesn't answer the door.
Is that you, Throckmorton?
Where are you? Oh, hello, Catherine. Yeah, it's me. I.
Mother and I are upstairs. The door's open. Just walk in.
All right.
I'll be dressed in a minute.
I'll be waiting on the love seat. Katie, beautiful. What's that? Incense. Look at the lamps. They're turned down low with pink bulbs. Catherine never turned the lights down before. She likes it light, like an operating room. What's this? A book of Portuguese love sonnets. A man trap if I ever saw one. Imagine Catherine setting a snare for me. I'm getting out of here. I'll just sneak right out.
Throckmorton.
Yeah, hello, Catherine.
Where are you going?
Going? Oh, I'm going out to get a drink of water.
Outside?
Well, I'm the water commissioner, you know. Always carry a canteen in the car.
Oh, don't be silly. I'll get you a cool drink from the kitchen.
No thanks. No favors.
Throckmorton, why are you behaving so strangely tonight?
Me?
Come here. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's sit here on the love seat. What?
I'll sit over here by the window. A little stuffy in here with that incense burning.
Oh, well, that's what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, well, I'm listening. I'm stopping and looking, too.
Throckmorton, I don't know how to ask you this, but, well, after a woman reaches a certain age, do you think she's justified in taking the initiative?
Initiative? You mean?
Toward marriage.
That's what I thought you meant.
Mother seems to think it entirely proper, but I'm not so sure. How do you feel?
I feel sick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let's get out of here and go to a movie. I can't stand that horrible incense either.
You can't? But didn't you set the trap? I mean, light the incense?
Of course not. Mother did.
She did?
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. She simply adores this Mr. Oberdorf.
Oh, yes, Mr. Oberdorf. A friend from Idaho.
Whom did you think I was talking about?
Frankly, I didn't have the vaguest idea. Come on, Catherine. Let's stoke up the incense burner and leave.
Oh, Throckmorton.
I'll blow on it. Look at it smoke now. What a sneaky thing to do to Mr. Oberdorf.
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again very shortly. Don't forget, Parquet Margarine is all ready to mail you the handiest kitchen implement you ever used. Gildy's Blade, that wonderful double-edged knife spatula that you can have for only 50 cents in the red end flap of a package of Parquet Margarine, plus the label or wrapper of any loaf of bread you buy at your grocer's. In some states, remember, instead of the red end flap, you may have to use the side panel from the new Parquet carton that shows the 4 yellow quarters. Send your $50, your Parquet red end flap or side panel, and your bread label or wrapper to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. That's Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. Include your own name and address. Send for your Gildy's Blade tomorrow.
This is your old friend, the water commissioner again. You know, folks, this week marks the 38th anniversary of the Girl Scouts and the 40th anniversary of the Campfire Girls. Two fine, worthy organizations. Here's wishing them both many happy returns of the day. Hello, girls. Good night, everybody.
Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Kathy Lewis, Dick Crenna, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Good night, John.
Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Which suits your taste? Mustard that's mild, delicately spiced, or sharp, snappy mustard with zing in every bite? Either way, you like Kraft prepared mustard, for there are two kinds. Salad mustard, tangy but smooth, and Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand for different tastes, different uses. Either works magic in bringing out hidden flavor, or when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft Prepared Mustard.
Have you heard the new Break the Bank? It's next on NBC. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. Again tonight, we're bringing you news of Gildy's Blade, the unique knife spatula invented by Gildy himself that you can get through Parquet Margarine at a tremendous saving. It's a sensational premium offer. Have paper and pencil ready for full details in our next announcement. Meanwhile, remember, Parquet Margarine is the margarine that always tastes so good because it's always fresh. That's P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet Margarine made by Kraft. Get some tomorrow. Well, let's see what's doing with the great Gildersleeve. Since his niece's marriage is 2 weeks away, he tactfully leaves the parlor to Marjorie and Bronco and their wedding plans. This evening, he's returning from a long walk, enjoying the balmy spring air and his own baritone voice.
When it's springtime in the Rockies, I'll be coming back to you. Little sweetheart of the mountains, with your bonny eyes so blue. Who said that? Oh, bullfrog. Must be in Bullard's lily pond. I bet I can go lower than he can. What a sneaky thing to do, running in his big brother. Chief Gates had better watch it. We'll have that frog singing bass in the Jolly Boys Quartet. When it's spring... Well, hello, children. I'm back.
Come on in the parlor, Uncle Morris.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Don't get up, Bronco. You're practically a member of the family.
Oh, by the way, Unky, Bronco's mother called while you were out.
Oh?
She wants Bronco and me to have dinner over there Sunday.
Next Sunday? But, Marjorie, you had dinner at Broadmoor last Sunday.
Well, I know,
A
but...
mother wants to spend as much time with Marjorie as possible, Mr. Gildersleeve. And you know how Mother is.
Yeah, I know how Mother is. A fine woman. But I'd planned to have you children here for Sunday dinner. Bertie has 2 chickens in the icebox.
Well, maybe next week, Unky.
Yeah, Mr. Gildersleeve. We'll be happy to come next week.
I'll be happier if you come this week. We have to divide our time, you know, children. Let's not forget your old uncle.
Please, Uncle Mort, don't make a big thing out of this.
Who's making a big thing out of it? I'll merely call Mrs. Thompson back and explain the situation.
Do you think you really should, Uncle?
Absolutely. Mrs. Thompson's a hard woman to explain things to, but give me Broadmoor 1313. Unlucky number.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bronco?
What time is it?
Well, it's 10 o'clock.
Perhaps I should have told you. Mother goes to bed at 9:30.
She does? Better hang up.
Hello?
Sorry, wrong number.
What number were you calling, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh. Is that you, Mrs. Thompson?
It is.
Well, I guess it is the right number, after all. Hope I didn't awaken you.
You did. What do you want, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, as long as you're awake, I'd like to talk to you about having the children over for Sunday dinner.
Oh, yes. Marjorie and Bronco are coming over here.
Now, Mrs. Thompson, I'd like to have them come over here. You had them last Sunday.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Gildersleeve. They had dinner with you.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, yes, they did.
No, they didn't. I can tell you what you had for dinner. Leg of lamb, mint jelly, succotash, and tapioca pudding.
We have that every Sunday.
Let's not be greedy, Mrs. Thompson.
Greedy? Mr. Gildersleeve, isn't the pot calling the kettle black?
The pot? Now, see here, Mrs. Thompson.
The children are coming to my house.
No, they're not.
Well, I won't argue the matter.
Well, I will. Yes, I won't. She hung up. All right, I'll hang up on her, too.
Uncle Mort, we couldn't help hearing you. You shouldn't talk to Mrs. Thompson like that.
I shouldn't talk to her at all. I get further talking to the frogs. Where's my hat?
Unky.
I'll see you kids later.
Gosh, Mr. Gildersleeve's pretty upset, isn't he?
Yes. I guess he's going for another walk. Gee, I'm sorry, Bronco.
Oh, I understand. Father goes for walks all the time.
Bronco, we've got to do something about your mother and Uncle Mort.
Yeah.
It's too bad they can't get along when we're so much in love.
Well, it's mostly Mother's fault. She gets pretty stubborn sometimes.
Yes, I know. Your mother can be very stubborn.
Oh? Well, your uncle can be very hot-tempered.
Well, just a minute.
Well, all right. Oh, Marge, darling.
Oh, Bronco.
There now, darling. Put your little head on Bronco's shoulder. We'll figure out some way to get them together.
I wish they could be as happy as we are.
On the telephone last night.
Eat your rhubarb, Leroy.
Somebody woke me up.
You mean you could hear Mrs. Thompson way upstairs?
It wasn't Mrs. Thompson he could hear, Unky.
You woke up Elmer, too.
Well, I'm sorry if I disturbed you and your pet turtle, Leroy. I scarcely raised my voice.
Are you kidding? Elmer hasn't come out from under the bed yet.
Leroy, let's not exaggerate.
He's still up there, shivering in his shell.
Well, he isn't exaggerating very much, Unky. Won't you please make an effort to get along with the Thompsons?
Marjorie, I get along all right with Mr. Thompson. He's just an absent-minded old daydreamer. But that Mrs. Thompson...
That's what I mean, Uncle Mort. Ever since Bronco and I became engaged, you and she have been arguing.
Well...
And last night, even Bronco and I had a quarrel.
You did?
All because of you and his mother.
I'm sorry, my dear. You know I don't want anything to happen between you and Bronco.
I know you don't, Unky.
Of course, I don't think I'm in the wrong. I've always been willing to meet Mrs. Thompson halfway.
Well, please remember that. Oh, and you'll be glad to know Bronco and I aren't having dinner at the Thompsons Sunday.
You're not?
We thought you and Leroy might like to join us for a picnic at Grass Lake instead.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, a picnic at Grass Lake? That's keen.
A capital idea, my dear. Love picnics. By George, I put one over at Mrs. Thompson after all.
So instead of having dinner here, Mother, Marjorie and I thought it would be nice if you and Father joined us at Grass Lake for a picnic.
Well, it is nice picnic weather, and I really don't care, just as long as you're spending Sunday with your father and me. Of course, I imagine Mr. Gildersleeve will be rather put out.
Mother, Marge and I have been thinking, can't you and Mr. Gildersleeve try to get along a little better?
Son, I like your Marjorie very much. I'm devoted to the girl. But Mr. Gildersleeve... Oh, Edward, bring me an aspirin.
What was that, Martha?
The aspirin. They're in the medicine chest.
Oh, medicine chest. Well, that's where the aspirin is.
Yes, Edward.
I'll go get some.
Look, Mother, this is serious. If you aren't nice to Marjorie's uncle, it may affect our future. Really.
What?
Marge was crying about it last night.
Oh, the poor dear. Well, for her sake and for you, son, I'll make every effort to be nice to Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, thank you, Mother.
When I see him. And I don't expect to see him for quite some time.
Well, I feel better already.
Edward, where's the aspirin?
Aspirin? Oh, I took it.
You took it?
And I feel decidedly better.
Oh, good heavens.
I'll get it,
Probably Bronco to take over the parlor again.
Evening, Gildy.
Oh, Judge, come in. I thought you were Bronco.
Thank you, Gildy. I am young and handsome, but I'm not engaged.
Don't give up, Judge. Where there's life, there's hope.
Plenty of life in me. In fact, I came over to see if Leroy wanted to fly a kite with me tomorrow.
You, Judge?
Yes, indeed.
I've always wanted to tell you to go fly a kite, but I never thought you'd do it.
Now, Gildy, I just happened to be rummaging through the attic, and I came across my old box kite.
Is that the one you discovered electricity with, Judge?
Now, Gildy, this March wind would send it sailing. Where is Leroy?
Well, Leroy went sailing right after supper over to Piggy's house.
Oh?
He can't fly kites tomorrow, Judge. He's going on a picnic.
Boy Scout picnic?
No, Judge, it's a little family picnic.
How delightful.
Yeah, just Marjorie, Bronco, Leroy, and me.
But that's only 4. You have a 5-passenger car, Gildy.
Judge, I'm taking a large lunch.
Well, I wouldn't think of horning in, but I am a lot of fun at a picnic.
Oh, hello, Judge Hooker.
Well, good evening, Marjorie. My, you look pretty tonight.
Well, thank you, Judge.
She's going to make a beautiful bride, Horace.
I agree, Gildy. I hear you're going on a picnic tomorrow, Marjorie.
Yes, out at Grass Lake. There'll be 6 of us.
6? Oh, meeting Bronco's parents out there, are you?
No, Judge, I'm not going anywhere near Mrs. Thompson.
Well, now, Unky, you promised to change your attitude. Didn't you say you'd meet her halfway?
Well, yes, but...
Then you won't mind if the Thompsons come to the picnic.
What?
I hate to do this to you, Unky, but Grass Lake is halfway between Broadmoor and Summerfield.
Go fly your kite, Judge.
We'll return to the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. You've probably all heard about Gildy's Blade, the amazing knife spatula we're offering as a phenomenal premium bargain on this program. Tonight we want you to hear from a woman who's already using one in her own kitchen, who can tell you just what a real cook thinks of this unique kitchen implement. It's none other than your old friend Bertie.
Big thing I want to tell you, ladies, is that Gildy's Blade is the handiest and most practical kitchen implement ever. Why, it's the grandest knife. In fact, it's the 2 grandest knives you've ever used, both in the same handle. Got a serrated edge on one side for slicing and a straight edge on the other side for cutting. And it's a spatula, too, for all sorts of mixing, turning, and scraping. Handiest thing you ever had in your kitchen. So you listen now while Mr. Heaston tells you how you can get one of these wonderful knife spatulas. You'll thank me, too, for telling you about it.
Thank you, Bertie. Now, ladies, believe me, here's a real premium bargain. 2 fine kitchen knives and an all-purpose spatula in one handle. A real $2 value for only 50 cents, and the label or wrapper from any loaf of bread you buy at your grocer's, and the red end flap of a package of Parquet margarine. Or in some states, you may have to use the side panel of the Parquet package that shows the 4 yellow quarters. Send your $50, your bread wrapper or label, and the red end flap or side panel to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77. Your knife spatula, a $2 value, will be mailed to you immediately. But hurry, this offer is for a limited time only. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. The house is a beehive of activity, getting ready for the picnic with the Thompsons. Leroy could hardly sit still in church this morning, just thinking about it. And the great Gildersleeve is having a hard time holding still for it, too.
What a picnic this is going to be. Splitting my chicken with the Thompsons. Well, I promised Marjorie I'd be cordial to Mrs. Thompson, and by George, I will. I'll say, have a piece of chicken, you old hen. Yeah, just about, Leroy.
Hey, I think I'll take my turtle. He can play in the water.
I wouldn't do that, Leroy. It's a big lake. You might lose Elmer.
Yeah?
On second thought, why don't you take him, Leroy?
Nuh-uh. I'll take a pail and bring him a bucket of wet sand.
Yeah, he liked that. Crafty little fellow.
Let's go, please.
Yes, Bertie?
I'm through packing the lunch. Anything I can help you do?
Well, you might help me find my ukulele, Bertie.
The last time I saw that ukulele, Leroy had it hanging from a tree.
Hanging from a tree?
Yeah, see, he was trying to get a wren to build a nest in the hole.
A wren? Oh, my goodness. I hate to take it away from the birds, but I need it at the picnic.
Yes, sir. I sure am glad you and Miss Thompson gonna get together.
Well, I'll make the best of it.
Yes, sir. It's about time you two met on neutral ground for a peace talk. Y'all been trying to scalp each other long enough.
Bertie, we're not a couple of Indians.
No, sir. But it won't hurt none for you to get together and smoke that old piece of pipe.
Bertie, that's a pipe of peace.
Yes, sir. Pipe of peace, a piece of pipe. It won't hurt none to smoke it.
Hey, that reminds me. I better go down to Peavy's and get some cigars. When Mrs. Thompson starts an argument, I can always slip away behind a smoke screen. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this fine spring day?
I need a number of things, Peavy. We're having a picnic this afternoon out at Grass Lake.
A picnic, eh? Well, that sounds jolly.
I don't know. I'm going out to meet the Thompsons.
Oh.
Yeah. Marjorie feels that Mrs. Thompson and I have to patch things up, Peavy. This is practically a peace conference.
My.
Better give me a half dozen cigars, Peavy.
For you or Mrs. Thompson?
Naturally, for me, Peavy.
Well, how about a couple of packages of chewing gum, Mr. Gildersleeve? Women like to chew gum. It exercises the jaw muscle.
Her jaw gets plenty of exercise, Peavy. Better give me a dozen paper plates and some of those little wooden forks, huh?
All right. We have some nice candy if you'd like to take along a box.
I'm not taking her any candy, Peavy. I'll just take the cigars and those paper plates.
Very well. There you are, Mr. Gildersleeve, and I hope it's a pleasant picnic.
Well, it's got to be. In fact, I'm going out of my way to make it pleasant for Bronco and Marjorie's sake.
Very commendable.
Thank you, Peavy. The kids will liven up. And I'm taking along my ukulele.
Well, that should keep things humming.
Yeah, you bet. I'm going to work hard on this, Peavy. By George, by the time the picnic's over, I'll have Mrs. Thompson right in the palm of my hand. Well?
That's going to be quite a handful.
They're here already.
Well, good.
Oh, looks like Mother's picked out a spot for us.
Yeah, I imagine she has.
Hey, Al, can I get down to the water?
Not yet, my boy. We have to say hello to the Thompsons. Hello, Mrs. Thompson.
Hello, Marjorie, dear, and Leroy.
Hello, Mrs. Thompson.
Hi.
You're late, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well,
remember, Mother?
Well, he is.
Watch it, Mrs. Thompson.
You remember too, Uncle Mort.
Oh, yes. Sorry that I'm late, Mrs. Thompson. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Well, I didn't see you folks arrive. I was looking up a tree.
Bet there was a squirrel looking down.
How are you, Mr. Thompson?
Oh, splendidly, my dear. Well, I see you brought Leroy and your Uncle Snort.
No, Uncle Mort, Father.
Oh, yes, to be sure.
This is going to be one of my bad days.
Well, isn't it nice that we're here all together?
Isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, yes, barrels of fun.
Say, while we're here, why don't we have a picnic?
Yep.
Edward, that's what this is supposed to be.
Oh. Well, good idea having a picnic early in the season like this, Gildersleeve. Get the jump on the ants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good, Mr. Thompson. Leroy, why don't you take Mr. Thompson down to the shore and look under rocks?
Yeah, we might find a crab. Come on, Mr. Thompson.
Martha, we're going down to look under rocks.
Be careful, Edward.
I bet that's where he found her.
Bronco and I'll unpack the lunch while you talk to Mrs. Thompson.
Well,
Yeah, Mr. Gildersleeve. Why don't you take Mother for a boat ride on the lake?
Bronco.
She loves boats. Don't you, Mother?
Yes. I can't wait to take a boat ride.
Well, Unky loves to row.
I do? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, come along, Mrs. Thompson. I'm in over my head anyway. I may as well be in the boat.
There's a stump ahead, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh?
There to the left.
Left.
Now bear to the right.
Bear to the left, bear to the right. I've got a bear by the tail. I think I'll stop and rest a while, Mrs. T. Quiet out here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, quiet. This'll never do. I better get out my uke. Do you like music, Mrs. Thompson?
Yes, I'm very fond of music.
Thought I'd strum my uke a little bit.
Mr. Gildersleeve, why do you have it stuffed with straw?
Oh, that's just a piece of an old bird's nest.
I beg your pardon?
Leroy was trying to attract wrens with it. Of course, I've attracted quite a few wrens with it myself in my day.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, how droll.
Well, glad you liked it. Care to have me sing a little?
Oh, I'm afraid there isn't much I can do about it out here.
Guess not. You're in over your head, too.
What do you propose to sing?
Well, it's Sunday afternoon. How about this one? Cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon with one you love, the sun above, waiting for the moon, my ukulele playing a sentimental tune, cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon. Well?
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes?
You have a rather nice voice.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. You're a good audience.
Edward used to play the ukulele.
He did?
Yes. But he could never remember the words to songs. Then one day he sat on the ukulele.
Well, Edward is a little absent-minded.
Oh, it wasn't that, Mr. Gildersleeve. I put it where he couldn't miss it.
Well, bless you, Mrs. Thompson.
Bless you, too, Mr. Gildersleeve.
By George, Mrs. Thompson, this is the first chance I've had to really know you. I think I'll celebrate and sing another chorus.
Please do.
Cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon with one you love, the sun above. You're a wonderful tenor. You know that, Mrs. Thompson? Here, let me help you out of the boat, huh?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. You're most gallant.
Hey, Unc, can Mr. Thompson and I go out in the boat?
Yes, Leroy, if you and Mr. Thompson stay close to the shore.
Oh, Edward, did you hear Mr. Gildersleeve singing?
Singing? No, Martha. I heard something bellowing. It sounded like a moose stuck in the mud.
Edward, Mr. Gildersleeve has a beautiful voice.
Oh, I'm sure he has. Come along, Leroy. Let's go out and find that moose.
Okay. I'll pull one door, you pull the other.
Well, Mrs. Thompson, let's go join Bronco and Marjorie, huh?
Yes, let's. Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm enjoying the day immensely.
You know, so am I. I think Bronco and Marjorie had the idea that we couldn't get along.
Well, we've never really had a chance to get acquainted.
Ain't it the truth? Look at Bronco and Marjorie sitting there under the tree.
Mm.
Isn't that a picture?
What a sweet couple.
Yeah. It's going to mean a lot to them that we've settled our little differences.
Oh, I'm sure it'll make their happiness complete.
Yes, indeed. Well, hello, children. We're back.
Hello, Unky.
Hi, Mother. Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. How was the boat ride?
We had a very nice time.
Did you really?
Yes, indeed. I even sang your mother a song, Bronco.
And she liked it?
Well, she didn't jump out of the boat.
I enjoyed the boat ride and Mr. Gildersleeve singing very much.
Really?
My dear, you heard what she said.
Mr. Gildersleeve, Marge and I have been talking about you and Mother.
Again?
We had a feeling that you'd come back and tell us everything was just fine, Mrs. Thompson.
Well, of course, Marjorie.
And we've decided that it's better for you both to just be your natural selves.
But, Bronco...
You don't have to pretend anymore, Mr. Gildersleeve. Just be honest.
Honest?
Please, Mrs. Thompson. It'll be so much better.
But I like your uncle.
We're getting along fine.
Really, believe me. You don't have to put on this act for us.
Well, Unky, we've been wrong. Bronco and I admit it. Just be yourselves.
Oh, brother.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah? Ready, Mrs. Thompson?
Ready. Very well. If you must know the truth, I think Mr. Gildersleeve is a complete bore and an egotistical windbag.
Oh, is that so? Well, you listen to me, Mrs. Thompson.
There, you see, Marge?
Oh, that's much better.
Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, Mrs. Thompson. Let's go look under rocks.
The great Gildersleeve will be right back. Once again, here's how you send for Gildy's Blade, the unique knife spatula that gives you 2 fine kitchen knives and an all-purpose kitchen spatula all in one handle. Send 50 cents, the label or wrapper from any loaf of bread you buy at your grocer's, and the red end flap or side panel from a package of Parquet margarine to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. That's Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, Illinois. Be sure to include your own name and address. And hurry, send for your Gildy's Blade tomorrow.
Say, the water looks inviting, Mrs. Thompson. I was just thinking.
What are you going to do, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, you can't have a picnic by a lake without going wading. Do you mind if I splash around a little? I love water.
Oh, go right ahead.
Yeah, get my shoes and socks off here. Double knots. My shoes, that is.
Oh.
There. It's cool. Feels good, though. You got a fish? No.
Enjoying yourself, Mr. Gildersleeve?
You bet. Aye, George, this was a profitable day, Mrs. Thompson. Don't you worry. I'll convince the children that you and I settled our little differences.
Why, of course. I'll explain to them that I patched up our disagreement.
You did? Now, wait a minute. I think I was the one who straightened things out.
Oh, no. It was I.
Oh, no. It wasn't.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't wish to argue the point.
Well, neither do I.
Very well. I'm going back to the car.
Okay. Hey, come back with my shoes and stockings. Oh, slippery. Zee. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here's a taste test that counts. Try any meat without mustard. Then add a golden dab of Kraft prepared mustard to your next bite. Taste the difference. There are 2 kinds of Kraft mustard, you know. Salad mustard, delicately spiced for those who like their mustard mild, or Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand. For remember this, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft prepared mustard.
Next, join the excitement of Break the Bank on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. Again this week, Bertie and I want to tell you about Gildy's Blade, the wonderful knife spatula now being offered as the premium bargain of the year by Parquet Margarine. You'll hear from Bertie in our next announcement. So have paper and pencil ready for big news from Parkay. Parquet Margarine, made by Kraft. Let's see what's going on in Summerfield. After a hard day at the water department, there's nothing the great Gildersleeve enjoys more than relaxing in a barber chair.
Give me a nice, close shave, Floyd.
Okay, Commish. Say, you knocked off a little early today, didn't you?
Early?
Yeah, you're getting rid of your 5 o'clock shadow at 4:30.
Yeah, well, I simply have things well organized at the office, Floyd. When I stop work, the water doesn't stop running. That's efficiency.
Yeah, yes it is. Getting prettied up for the Jolly Boys tonight, Commish?
Not exactly, Floyd. In fact, I may be a little late for the meeting.
Huh?
Well,
why?
I promised Miss Milford I'd drive her home from the hospital. She gets off work at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, huh? Well, let's see, it's 10 minutes from the hospital to your little nurse's house. Then you have to walk her up on the porch and say goodnight.
Yeah.
We'll expect you about 11:30.
It doesn't take me that long to say goodnight.
I guess not. You did say you was efficient, though, didn't you?
All right, Floyd.
Take your time, Commish. The judge is going to be late, too.
Oh? What's keeping Horace?
He's having his house exterminated.
Exterminated?
Yeah, it seems he's got ants in his kitchen.
The judge has ants?
Yeah, and silverfish in his closet.
Oh, poor old Horace. Last year was aphis in his rose trellis, and now it's silverfish in his closet.
Yeah, he's getting rid of all them things. They're going to seal up the house, and pump it full of pest control.
Fumigating, eh?
Yeah, yep. The judge is thinking of taking a room in a hotel over the weekend.
Wonder why the old goat doesn't stay home and get sealed in. I've seen moths fly out of his pockets.
You're kidding, ain't you, Commish?
Yes, Floyd.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel sorry for the old judge having to pack off to a hotel like that.
Huh?
I wish me and Lovey had a room for him. Oh, why don't you take him in, Commish? He's a fellow jolly boy, you know.
Floyd, I don't have room for him either.
Got more room than anybody else.
I've got more family than anybody else, too. Besides, you know how finicky the judge is.
Only be for 2 short days.
Floyd, with a judge in your house, there's no such thing as a short day. Can I order another cup of coffee for you, Catherine?
No, thank you. Nice of you to buy my dinner, Throckmorton.
Glad to do it.
I hope you don't mind the hospital coffee shop.
Not at all. Always wondered what they fed people in hospitals when they weren't in bed.
I usually eat earlier, but I became very interested in one of my patients.
Oh? Lady patient, I suppose.
No, a man.
Catherine?
Yes?
Any of those patients ask you for a date?
Oh, no. That's against hospital rules.
Love those hospital rules.
Of course, sometimes they call up after they leave.
What a sneaky thing to do.
And I hope this man does.
You do?
He can hardly wait to get out of the hospital.
I'll bet.
Now, Throckmorton. He's anxious to get home because he and his wife have just adopted a little orphan.
Well, fine fella. Sorry he's been sick.
You know, that's one thing I like about my work. A nurse sees so many people doing wonderful things for others.
Oh, yes.
This man can't really afford it, but he's giving this little child a home.
Well, good for him.
I admire him so much. He's so generous and warm-hearted.
Well, nobody ever accused me of having a cold heart.
What?
Come to think of it, I have a pretty warm one.
Oh, I know you have.
You bet. In fact, I've decided to help somebody out, too.
Who, Throckmorton?
Well, poor old Judge Hooker is fumigating and has to get out of his house. He's going to a lonely old hotel, but by George, I'm not going to let him. I'm going to insist that he come to my house.
Oh, that's thoughtful of you, Throckmorton. It thrills me when people do nice things like that. I could kiss you.
Well?
But it's against hospital rules.
Hate those hospital rules. Well, took me an hour at Catherine's front door, but I got around that hospital rule. Guess I'm late. There's Peavy tuning up his violin. Sounds like a cat with his tail in a screen door. Uh-oh. The judge is here, too. Hope he doesn't bring his flute to my house. I'd have to go to the hotel.
Hey, here's the commish. Now we can get going. Hi, commish.
Hi, Floyd.
Evening, Gildy.
Hi, Judge. Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Band practice tonight, fellas?
Sure. Get your trombone off the piano, commish. Give us a blast.
Wait a minute. Where's the chief?
He's under the weather tonight, commish.
Oh, too bad. Hope he's better soon.
Yeah, I'm taking over the bass drum for tonight.
Better tune up, Gildy.
Before we start, Judge, I'd like to talk to you about something.
We can talk later, Gildy. If I wait any longer, I'll lose my lip.
Well, button it up, Judge, and let's play.
Yeah.
Here's your copy, commish. A waltz.
Well, the Merry Widow. This ought to be fun.
Okay, now, everybody follow the music.
I hope Mrs. Peavy won't mind if I follow the Merry Widow.
Peavy.
Okay, fellas, let's go.
Wait a minute, Floyd. Give me a chance to warm up.
Okay. You're warm.
Did you break it, Mr. Gildersleeve?
All right, Peavy.
Okay, now, let's go, gang. Look, when we come to the judge's solo part, everybody lay off.
So the judge has a solo, eh?
Okay, now, a 1, a 2.
What an arrangement.
Sounds nice.
Murder.
Okay, fellas, here we go. Full orchestra.
Brother.
If you want my opinion, I think we're showing definite improvement. Don't you think so, Peavy?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, very good, Peavy. Let's all relax and open a Coke, huh? I want to talk to the judge anyway.
By the way, Judge, how's the fumigating coming along at your house?
Men are starting in the morning, Peavy. I'm checking into a hotel tonight.
Judge, that's what I want to talk to you about.
Oh?
I'm not going to have an old friend of mine staying at a hotel. You're coming to my house.
Hey, I thought
Floyd. Judge, you must come home with me.
Well, thank you for the kind invitation, Gildy, but I'm looking forward to staying at the hotel.
You can't do that, Judge. I'll consider it a personal insult if you don't accept my warm-hearted hospitality.
My.
The commish must have an angle.
No, Floyd. How about it, Judge?
But, Gildy, I'd only inconvenience
Oh, no, not you, Horace.
At the hotel, I'll have complete privacy, maid service, bellboy.
Well, we've got Bertie, and Leroy can be the bellboy. You've got to come, Judge.
Gildy, why insist? It can't mean that much to you.
Oh, yes, it does. What are you trying to do, show me up in front of Catherine?
What?
Nothing, Judge. Say you'll come.
Well...
Don't you think he should stay with us, Peavy?
Well, hotels are a little expensive.
Say, that's right. At least when I leave Gildy's house, he won't present me with a bill.
Well, now, I...
All right,
Peavy. Gildy, I've decided to come. I can't resist such a sincere invitation.
Well, I'm glad you can't, Judge. Now, where are your bags?
They're in my car. So is my rowing machine.
Rowing machine?
Oh, I wouldn't think of going anywhere without it, Gildy. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock for an hour's exercise.
6 o'clock, Judge?
Of course. That's why I'm so robust.
Robust. Rowing at 6 o'clock. What a bust this weekend's going to be.
We'll return to the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. You've probably all heard about Gildy's Blade, the amazing knife spatula we're offering as a phenomenal premium bargain on this program. Tonight we want you to hear from a woman who's already using one in her own kitchen, who can tell you just what a real cook thinks of this unique kitchen implement. It's none other than your old friend Bertie.
Mr. Stewart, I think that knife spatula is just about the handiest, most practical thing I ever used in my kitchen.
It certainly is. It's 2 fine kitchen knives and an all-purpose kitchen spatula, all in one. One edge of Gildy's blade is a lifetime serrated edge that never needs sharpening. Wonderful for slicing fruits, vegetables, bread, cake, anything you want to slice without crushing. The other edge is a hand-honed, razor-keen straight edge for all other kinds of cutting.
Every woman ought to have one, Mr. Stewart, because it's such a good knife.
It's more than a good knife. It has 2 different kinds of cutting edges, and Gildy's blade is spatula-shaped. It mixes, turns, stirs, scrapes. So it's 2 fine knives and a spatula all in one. Now, Gildy's blade is a real $2 value. It's made by Kalon, world-famous manufacturers of fine cutlery. But you can get one for only 50 cents. Plus the label or wrapper from any loaf of bread you buy at your grocer's, and the red end flap from a package of parquet margarine.
Tell them where to send, Mr. Stewart. Every woman is going to want one because it's wonderful in so many ways.
Just send your 50 cents, the bread wrapper or label, and the parquet red end flap to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77, and be sure to include your own name and address. I'll repeat that address. Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77.
Better tell them to do it now, Mr. Stewart.
That's right. Hurry. Get this wonderful knife spatula. Send for Gildy's blade tomorrow. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. Tonight, he's helping out a fellow jolly boy. Rather than have Judge Hooker go to a hotel while his house is closed, the water commissioner has invited him to stay at his house for a couple of days.
Are you sure I won't be overcrowding you, Gildy?
Of course not, Judge. I should have thought to invite you sooner.
Well, it's most considerate of you to take me in and give me a rip over my head, old man.
Now, don't you mention it, Horace.
As Samuel Taylor Coleridge so aptly said, friendship is a sheltering tree. Oh, the joys that come down shower like a friendship.
Quiet, Judge. We don't want to waken the little family.
Oh, I'll be as quiet as a mouse. Where shall I put my bag?
Yeah, we'll put them right here in the den.
Very well. Sorry, Gildy. Now, let's get my rowing machine.
Oh, yes, your rowing machine.
Are you sure my luggage won't be in your way here, Gildy?
My way? Well, Judge, I thought you'd like to sleep here in the den. More private.
Oh?
Don't glare at the couch, Judge. It pulls out into a nice, soft bed.
Does it? Let's see.
Needs oiling, I guess.
What makes it so lumpy?
Lumpy? Now, Judge, it's very comfortable. It's a faithful old horsehair couch.
Well, I don't want to speak ill of a faithful old horse. But I just remembered, Gildy, I'm allergic to horsehair.
What? Judge, you're just saying that.
No, I'm not, Gildy. Let's put my things back in the car. I better check into a hotel.
But, Horace, there's somebody in every room in the house except mine.
Oh?
All right, I'll sleep down here. You can have my room. Grab that end of the sheet, Judge. You can help me put on the clean linen.
Didn't anybody know I was coming, Gildy?
Well, I didn't have time to prepare for you. I didn't know you had your bags in the car tonight. The sheet, please, Judge.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time since I've made up a bed.
Well, it's not exactly in my line either. Tuck in the corners, Judge.
I can't tuck in the corners. The bed's against the wall.
I know it. All we gotta do is push it away from the wall.
Very well.
Shh. Not so loud. You'll wake up the family. Now push.
I'm pushing.
Ooh, catch the nightstand.
Set off the alarm clock.
Yes, Judge.
It can't be time to get up.
Very funny.
Hey, Unc, what's going on in here?
Leroy.
Hello, Leroy.
Oh, it's Judge Hooker. I thought you caught a burglar.
No, Leroy. The judge is staying a couple of days.
Uncle Mort, are you dreaming?
No, Marjorie. I wish I was. Go back to bed, you too, Leroy.
I'm sorry I disturbed the household.
Well, at least we didn't wake up Bertie. No, Bertie, I don't have a bed to fall out of. The judge is right. This is a lumpy couch. Horsehair. Must have left the horse in it. What was that? Oh, that big spring that snaps the back of it up. Hope it holds. Never did trust these folding contraptions. Just have to lie still, that's all. A thing like this could throw a man out of bed. Judge is a bother, but it's nice to know you're doing somebody a good turn. Makes you feel good. I'm tired. Glad everything's quieted down. Reedle, deedle, deedle, deedle. Who's that? Must be Leroy. Guess he can't sleep. Too bad we wakened the little fellow. What is it, Leroy?
It's I, Gildy. I just wanted to say good night to my host.
Good night. Ooh, what a nightshirt. The old goat looks like a zebra. Well, everything's settled at last. What a couch. I'd be more comfortable on the floor. I'm on it.
Morning, Miss Gildersleeve.
Good morning, Bertie.
What you doing out here in the kitchen with that razor in your hand?
Nope. Didn't mean to frighten you. Looking for a place to shave, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Judge Hooker shaving in the bathroom?
Yeah, he's been primping for an hour. Of course, it takes quite a while for the judge to make himself presentable.
I think it's mighty nice of you to invite the judge over.
Yeah, nice. Bertie, can I have a basin of hot water? I'll shave out here in the service porch.
Hi, Bertie. Hi, Unc.
Morning, Leroy.
Hello, Leroy.
What's for breakfast?
Leroy, you're not ready for breakfast. You haven't even combed your hair.
Yeah, I know. I can't even wash my face.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry you haven't had a chance to clean up.
Who's squawking?
Bertie, make that 2 pans of hot water.
Oh, for corn's sake.
It'll take a little while to heat it. The judge uses a powerful lot of hot water, and I was going to wash clothes this morning.
Oh?
But it's nice to have the judge around.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, my dear.
Bertie, get another washpan for Marge.
Never mind. Everything's clear upstairs now.
It's about time.
The judge will be down in a minute. Now, here's what he wants for breakfast, Bertie.
He wrote it out?
He's on a health diet.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'll be glad to fix whatever the judge wants. Carrot juice.
Carrot juice?
1 piece of whole wheat toast with the crust cut off.
He's certainly got his crust.
Cocoa made with skim milk. And what's this he's got on here about an egg, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, he wants it coddled, Bertie.
Well, Bertie better get busy. I can see she's got a lot of coddling to do.
Now, Bertie, like you say, it's nice to have the judge around.
Yes.
Commissioner, you've had a long day at the water department. Guess the judge is home already. There's his little cape hanging on the hall tree.
Evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, Bertie, what are we having for dinner?
I'm glad you asked me that. We're having barley broth.
Broth?
Green salad with no dressing, boiled rice, and eggplant instead of meat.
Eggplant?
That's
coddled?
That's what the judge ordered.
Hmm? Well, Bertie, we should have something the little family likes.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you said accommodate the judge. That's what you said.
But...
And that's what he ordered. Bertie can't cook to please everybody. This ain't no hotel.
Big-hearted, coddled egg Gildersleeve.
Gildy, it was a wonderful dinner. The eggplant was delicious.
Yeah.
Shall we get out the checkerboard this evening?
Judge, I thought I might drop over and see Catherine this evening. You and I have been seeing quite a lot of each other.
Very well. I suppose we know each other well enough so that you can go off and leave me alone in the house.
All right, Judge, we'll play checkers.
Bertie.
Well, you're up early this morning, Leroy.
Yeah, since 6 o'clock when the judge started rolling.
Good morning, family.
You up too, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, Bertie. Who can sleep with that rowing machine going? He made me seasick. I'll bet he's paddled 50 miles this morning.
From Memphis to Mobile, from Natchez to St. Joe.
Now he's a riverboat. But a whole breakfast, Bertie. We're waiting for the Robert E. Lee. Oh, by George, I'm not going to play checkers tonight. Marjorie, do you and Bronco mind if I have the parlor this evening?
But you and Judge Hooker had it last night. I thought this was his evening to leave.
Well, it is. But he may want to hang around. That's why I've cooked up a little plan.
A plan?
Yeah, humdinger, too. I'm having Catherine over.
Oh.
Yeah, when he sees I have a date, he'll surely leave. Of course, I've enjoyed having the judge, but he'll leave.
All right, Unky. You and Miss Milford can have the parlor.
Thank you, my dear. You're sly, Gildersleeve. Yeah. Nice of you to come over, Catherine.
Oh, I understand, Throckmorton. After all, you have a guest in the house.
Yeah, and I couldn't leave until he leaves. And he'll be leaving any minute. Then we'll have the parlor all to ourselves.
Oh?
Yep. Leroy's over at Piggy's, and Bertie stacked the dishes and went to a movie.
She did?
Nerves. Oh, here he comes now. Guess he's all packed.
Good evening, Miss Milford.
Hello, Judge.
Judge, where are your bags?
My bags?
I mean, can I help you pack?
Thank you, Gildy, but I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh? Thought you might be ready. This is the night we lose you, isn't it?
Won't you sit down, Judge?
Thank you. Well, what are you two doing for amusement?
Well...
Miss Milford, perhaps you'd like to see my stereopticon slides.
Thank you, Judge, but I see quite a few slides at the hospital.
Oh, but those are germs. I bet you haven't seen Old Faithful in Yellowstone Park.
Old Faithful, if I didn't know the judge so well, I'd turn off his water.
Let me go get the slide.
Judge, don't go unpack your bag.
It isn't packed yet.
Well, let's go pack it. As host, I think I should help you.
Gildy, I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh, my goodness. Excuse me, Catherine, doorbell.
I'll get it, Gildy. I'm sure it's for me.
For you?
You know, Throckmorton, it was awfully nice of you to take the judge in like this.
I'm the guy who's been taken in.
What?
Catherine, sometimes a man can have more heart than common sense.
I was right, Gildy. It was for me. A little something I ordered from downtown.
Oh, a life preserver for your rowing machine?
Matter of fact, Gildy, it's for you.
What? That package?
A small token of my esteem for you personally and in appreciation of your warm hospitality these 2 days.
Oh, Judge, you shouldn't have done it. And such a big package. What's in it?
Why don't you open it and find out?
It's a humidor of 50 cigars.
50 cigars?
The very finest quality.
Isn't that nice?
Well, Judge, I don't know how to thank you.
Not at all, Gildy. That's why I couldn't leave. I had to wait for your present to arrive.
Why, of course. This was mighty thoughtful of you, Judge. What a real friend. I hope I didn't give you the impression I was trying to hurry you off.
And I hope that I haven't been a nuisance while here.
No. It's been a real pleasure, Judge. Cigars smell good. Think I'll light one. Judge, come over any time. My home is your home, old friend. You're always welcome.
Thank you, Gildy. As a matter of fact, since my house is closed, I've been thinking it'd be a good time to have it painted. And it'll only take another 3 days.
I knew these cigars were loaded.
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again very shortly. Don't forget what Bertie told you. Send for one of Gildy's blades. Get this $2 knife spatula for only 50 cents. The label or wrapper from a loaf of bread and the red end flap of a package of Parquet margarine. Send your $50, your bread label or wrapper, and your Parquet red end flap to Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77. Kraft Foods Company, Box 5939, Chicago 77. And hurry, this offer is for a limited time only.
Hey, Unc.
Just a moment, Leroy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take a moment to thank the city fathers of the village of Upper Sandusky, Ohio, for making me their honorary water commissioner. And the community of Palm Desert, California, near Palm Springs, and the Shadow Mountain Club for appointing me honorary hot water commissioner.
Gosh, a hot and cold running water commissioner.
Yeah. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Kathy Lewis, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Hot water commissioner.
Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here's a taste test that counts. Try any meat without mustard. Then add a golden dab of Kraft prepared mustard to your next bite. Taste the difference. There are 2 kinds of Kraft mustard, you know. Salad mustard, delicately spiced for those who like their mustard mild, or Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand. For remember this, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft Prepared Mustard.
Next, join the excitement of Break the Bank on NBC.